For me, football has never just been about goals or trophies. It's about stories. It's about empires. It's about those rare managers who don't just win matches, but reshape a club, rewrite its identity, and leave something behind that feels eternal. And when I think about that, two names tower over the rest. Sir Alex Ferguson, the man who turned Manchester United into a symbol of dominance for a generation. And Jürgen Klopp, the man who dragged Liverpool out of the shadows, out of irrelevance, and gave us our soul back. But here's the real question I can't let go of. Who truly built the greater empire? The one forged through fear, inevitability, and cold dominance? Or the one born from chaos, belief, and raw emotion? To answer that, we have to go back to the beginning, to when both men inherited broken giants. When Ferguson arrived at Manchester United in 1986, the club was a sleeping giant. 26 years without a league title. The dressing room fractured, the culture rotten. He came from Aberdeen, where he'd already stunned Europe by taking down Real Madrid. But Old Trafford wasn't rolling out the red carpet. It was brutal. 7 years without a league title. Calls for his head. Headlines ripping him apart. By 1989, many thought his time was up. But he clung on. He survived. And when that first Premier League title finally came in 1993, the floodgates opened. From there, the dynasty grew. But let's be honest, it was slow. Painfully slow. His empire wasn't born in an explosion of glory. It was forged in survival, in grit, in holding on when everyone wanted him gone. Now, Klopp's story at Liverpool couldn't be more different. October 2015, our club was adrift. 6th, 7th, 8th place finishes, false dawns, broken promises, the weight of history crushing us, Anfield restless. Then came Jürgen Klopp.
If we want, this could be a real special day, but in a special Liverpool way, we can be successful.
So let's see it then, Jürgen. Full throttle, emotional football.
That grin, that laugh, that line that still gives me chills.
We have to change from doubter to believer.
And you felt it instantly. The energy shifted. The belief returned. He didn't beg for patience. He demanded faith. Within months, we were in European finals.
You have to change from doubter to believer.
It's not a normal or usual club, it's a special club. I feel it's a good moment to come here, and I feel really proud.
Within 4 years, champions of Europe. Within 5, Premier League champions with 99 points. That wasn't a slow burn. That was a firework. 2 rebuilds, 1 drawn-out survival story, 1 immediate spark. But building is only half the tale. To truly compare their empires, we need to look at the football itself, the philosophies that defined them. Because the real question is, once the dust settled, who played the game in a way that defined an era? This is where the contrast really blows me away. Ferguson and Klopp saw football in completely different ways. Ferguson was a pragmatist, a shapeshifter. His only loyalty was to winning. Early United sides were physical, scrappy, uncompromising. They'd kick you off the pitch if that's what it took. But then he adapted. With Cantona, it was swagger. With Giggs and Beckham, it was width and speed. With Scholes and Ronaldo, it was brilliance and flair. That was Ferguson's genius. He never chained himself to one style. He rebuilt United again and again, bending football to his will. Efficient, ruthless, relentless, sometimes beautiful, sometimes ugly, but always effective. Now Klopp is the total opposite. He came with a vision and never wavered.
Knowledge, passion, heart, whatever you want, I throw in that club 100%. I don't keep anything back.
Heavy metal football, chaos, relentless pressing. Opponents suffocated until they couldn't breathe. And the magic was, You didn't just see it, you felt it. At Anfield, it was like the fans themselves were pressing alongside the players. Every turnover, every counter, it felt like 60,000 people were surging forward together. Salah flying, Mane breaking lines, Firmino orchestrating the storm. It was football as theatre, football as adrenaline, and here's what sticks with me. Ferguson's United were admired, respected, even feared. But Klopp's Liverpool, they were loved. Ferguson's teams imposed themselves on opponents. Klopp's teams pulled you into the chaos and made you feel it. And that's why when people talk about Klopp, they don't just list his trophies. They talk about nights. They talk about how it felt. Because trophies gather dust, but emotion lasts forever. But styles and emotions aren't everything. At the end of the day, football is judged on silverware. So, when you stack Ferguson and Klopp's records side by side, who really comes out on top? Let's face it, if this whole debate was just about numbers, Ferguson wins in a landslide. 13 Premier Leagues, 2 Champions Leagues, 38 trophies overall, and the treble of 1999. A moment of immortality in English football. On paper, he's untouchable, but trophies don't live in a vacuum. They're shaped by context, and Ferguson's context was very different. Arsenal were his main rival for much of his reign. Brilliant at times, but inconsistent. Chelsea had their surges, but weren't yet a long-term juggernaut. City weren't even relevant until the final stretch. Ferguson's United dominated, yes, but they often did it in a landscape with fewer monsters to slay. Now, look at Klopp. His Liverpool went toe-to-toe with Guardiola's Manchester City, maybe the greatest, most relentless, most expensively assembled side English football has ever seen. City weren't scraping 85 points to win titles. They were hitting 100, 98, 95, numbers that felt superhuman. And yet Klopp matched them. 97 points in 2019, and somehow still second. Any other era, that's a title by a mile, but instead, heartbreak. And what did Klopp's Liverpool do? Came back the next season, hit 99, and conquered England. And Europe, that 4-0 against Barcelona will never leave me.
By the goalkeeper, and in by Divock Origi. Now there is, it's in! Kiri, Wijnaldum! Oh my gosh! Of what's going on in this game. Early goal, Origi! Liverpool!
That wasn't football. That was belief. That was defiance. That was magic. Ferguson had countless great nights, but none like that. So yes, Ferguson's silverware stack is higher. But for me, Klopp's silverware shines brighter because of the mountain he had to climb to get it. However, greatness isn't only about the medals, it's about legacy. And when both men step away, which empire truly lasts? When Ferguson retired in 2013, he left United as champions. But he also left them on a cliff edge. Since then, the empire has crumbled. Managers have come and gone, identity lost. And in some strange way, that collapse has only made Ferguson's greatness loom larger. Almost as if he built the whole thing so tightly around himself that once he left, it had no chance of surviving. Klopp, though, Klopp has left something different, something deeper. He didn't just win trophies for Liverpool. He gave us back our soul. He restored the bond between fans and players. He made Anfield terrifying again. He gave us belief when belief was dead. Ask a Liverpool fan what Klopp means, and they won't start with medals. They'll talk about connection, about identity, about afternoons and nights when the ground shook under their feet. Dortmund, City, Barcelona, those memories don't fade. That feeling doesn't die. And that's why, for me, Klopp's legacy will outlast Ferguson's. Ferguson left a dynasty of silverware that collapsed without him. Klopp will leave behind a living heartbeat that will carry on long after he's gone. That's the kind of empire you can't measure in numbers. So when all is said and done, who truly built the greater empire?
Doesn't feel like an end. It just feels like the start. Because I saw today a football team playing full of talent, full of youth. We have this wonderful stadium. We have you, the superpower of world football. And since today I'm one of you. And I keep believing in you. I stay a believer 100%.
So, here's my truth. For me, Jürgen Klopp built the greater empire. Ferguson has the trophies, he has the longevity, he has the dominance. But Klopp built something more precious. He built something you could feel. He dragged Liverpool from irrelevance to the very top of world football. He gave us memories that still make my spine tingle. He rebuilt not just a team, but a belief system. And he did it against one of the greatest adversaries the game has ever seen. For me, that makes his empire greater, by a mile. But this is where I turn it over to you. Maybe you see Ferguson's consistency as the ultimate measure. Maybe for you, the medals outweigh the emotion. Or maybe you agree with me that Klopp's resurrection, his belief, his bond with the fans stands taller. Drop your verdict in the comments. Let's debate, because this story, this rivalry, this question, it doesn't end here. That's the beauty of football. It's never just about who won, it's about what it meant.